everyone, it's me, the Sparkle Girl, aka Kin Sparkle. And today, boys and girls, that we are here to talk about this TV show I used to watch, and it's called Harry and His Bucketful of Dinosaurs. It's an animated series based on the actual books, which I used to read all the time as a kid. Yeah. So these are the books, are the ones that I have growing up. Sadly, I don't have them, unfortunately. And for some reason, I've always will remembered the episodes I personally have watched over the years. Because I do remember watching some of them on the DVD, and I also remember watching some of them on Milkshake channel. And I also remember this one peculiar episode on this DVD called Making Children Smile, but I won't go through the details yet until the time being. So, I do remember the British dub of the series, to be honest, because that's how I discovered the show on Milkshake channel anyway. Since I am from United Kingdom, and I easily recognize some of the voices from other TV shows that I have watched in the British dub, of course. The TV show did release on the 28th of March in 2005, and then it somehow finished in 2008. Okay, so let's get to the episodes. Okay, I remember watching this episode called Ah! Yeah, that's the episode I remember watching on Milkshake channel. Yeah. Okay, so basically it's about Harry having nightmares of a monster who chased after him. So he decides to go to Dino World with his dinosaurs in an attempt to hide from it. But because of Harry's imagination, it materializes in Dino World and terrorizes Harry and the dinos until Harry imagines the monster as harmless and friendly. It doesn't really that scary to me, but it can be a little creepy in a way, but it's not that scary. But I also do remember watching this other episode on YouTube, and it's called Overdue. It's about Harry upset about that he needs to learn to always return a library book, so he decides to hide it in the Dino world. But it comes to life. Although Harry and the dinos try to entertain the book, but it's still unhappy in Dino world and tries to escape. Eventually, the book persuades Harry to return it to the library, where there are lots of more books waiting to be read by him and anyone else. Here it goes. But I like mud. Okay, I don't want to go through the whole details, but I'd rather not say much about this episode. But my best friend Savvy already get the obvious why I won't tell you guys about this episode, but let me just remind you all that I used to watch this on Milkshake channel as a kid, and I also remember watching it before on this Making Children Smile DVD, but I'd rather not say anything else in case, nightmare fuel. You get the idea. Okay, it's a kitty. I remember watching that on YouTube. Yeah, and so yeah, basically I just remember watching it on YouTube. And Harry's friend Charlie brings a new little kitty named Buster to visit Harry. And the dinosaurs were terrified of Buster, and they ran into Dino World. And then Harry decides to persuade the dinosaurs to save and find Buster in time for Charlie to reunite with him again in the end. I absolutely adore this episode because it's just so sweet. I mean, I just love kittens. Lovely, lovely kitty doo. Okay. And I also remember watching Can I Join on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I kind of feel sorry for Harry on this point in this episode because he was so disappointed that he is not able to join in any activities that his family, including his friend Charlie, are taking part in. So he decided to go to Dino well, to invent his own clubs, which only himself and the dinosaurs. Bungee jumping or messy cooking, which kind of fails. But they did have a good time in the end, though. And in the episode, What Mess? Okay. This episode, which I kind of feel disappointed in Harry for not liking tidying up. Okay, I know some of you may say it's okay to make a little mess sometimes. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's quite understandable. But sometimes we just need to respect other people may do not like the mess. So we just need to think on the other people and not just your own. Just because you're looking for a missing toy or you just don't feel like tidying up. You're just lazy, to be honest. I'm sorry, but you just got to understand this. Because I literally remember this one episode that reminds me of that episode from Charlie and Lola. And I always remember that episode. Yeah, okay. And there's another episode called Harry Ace Reporter. So I literally remember watching it on both Milkshake channel and I also remember watching it again on YouTube. Harry who wants to be like his mom on becoming a newspaper reporter for the day. And he couldn't find any stories until well, I felt so disappointed in Tori for lying to Harry like that. He should think on Harry's feelings, like literally. I know he's only trying to help, but sometimes you can't make stuff up like that just because you want to help people by wanting them to be happy. It doesn't always work like that, I'm afraid. And I also remember watching this on Milkshake channel, and it's called What's for Breakfast. So on this episode, I also am disappointed in Harry for being so rude to his nan for making him breakfast. And he didn't even say thank you or didn't even bother to say sorry. I mean, seriously. I know he's only a kid, but no matter how old you are, you should know when to use your manners. And there's this episode called I Wish It Would Stop Raining. I don't really remember much about this episode to be honest, but I just say I feel sorry for Harry on this episode because he doesn't like the rain. And I also remember this other episode, and I'm pretty sure I did watch this before, and I think it's something to do with Harry being ill. Yeah, it's been a long time, so I vaguely remember the whole episode of it, but I probably might have watched it before as a kid anyway on Milkshake. And this other episode called Super Harry. I remember watching that episode. I got a DVD of that actually, including this very episode, and it's got other episodes with it as well. But I also still remember watching it on Milkshake channel as well. I mean, I'm in luck because I still got that very DVD in the DVD cupboard. And I also remember this other episode called Who Says My Dinosaurs Aren't Cool. Yeah, I just remember watching this episode on Milkshake channel, and I think I did watch it again on YouTube. So yeah, I just remember watching it, and I get that correctly, I think it's something to do with one of the boys from Harry's school said about his dinosaurs on cool. What a show off, showing off his new toy, and then Harry feels jealous, and he decides to go to Dino World to create a big giant robotic dinosaur. Abracadabra! I remember watching that on Milkshake channel. Yes. And the episode I also remember watching on Milkshake channel, and it's called Me First. In this episode, Harry was a bit harsh, was rude to his friend Charlie, and I kind of feel sorry for her. Yeah, and Harry didn't even have good manners on this episode, to be honest. But at least he got his nana that taught him know how to use kindness. You know, you get the idea. And I also remember watching this episode called I Win. That's another episode which I feel disappointed in Harry. I get you want to win, And I guess that's how you feel sometimes when you can't always win. You should always let other people win too, and not just yourself alone, because that just sounds selfish to me. And I also remember watching this episode about cookies. I remember watching it on Milkshake channel as well, and I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure in my memory that I think I have seen this episode called I Don't Want to Go to Bed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, but it's been a long time, so I won't be able to remember the whole thing. And I also remember watching the other episode called To Outer Space. Kind of gave me a little vibe of Star Wars a little bit. Despite I don't really watch Star Wars, meaning I'm not really a fan of stuff like that. Sorry, no offense, but that's just my opinion, okay? If you like Star Wars, opinion handled. Oh yeah, and Hail the Queen. Yeah, Patsy being the queen in this episode. Wow. I just remember watching it. There's few other episodes, but I can't remember the names of them, but I remember watching one of them stuff something to do with Patsy turning into a giant. And the other episode about it was like a nighttime sort of episode, and Harry and his dino friends meet this owl. If you know what those episodes are called, can you please let me know, because it's hard to remember now, to be honest. And I also remember this other episode, and it's called I've Got the Giggles, because I literally remember this princess character who can't smile, she can't giggle. And I also remember watching this other episode a long time ago on Milkshake as well, and it's called Sticky's Not Here. I literally remember watching that episode as well on Milkshake channel. Yeah, I just remember watching it. And I also remember this other episode from my Super Harry DVD, and it's called I Wish I Was a Boulder. I remember watching it, and I was so obsessed with that episode growing up, and I never stopped watching it ever since. Like, literally growing up. But I haven't watched it for a long while now, but yeah. Oh, and the other episode called Circus. And I think I did see this other episode called I Wish I Could Fly. Yeah, I remember watching it on Milkshake channel. And I also think I did see this other episode called The Silly Pencil. Yeah, I just remember watching that somehow, vaguely. And I would say the same thing with this other episode called My Hair is Short. Yeah, I just remember watching it, like I keep saying, on Milkshake channel. Oh, and I forgot to mention this earlier because this is actually a season 1 episode, and this episode is called You're Too Little. The episode I'm Not Going. I just vaguely remember this episode as well on Milkshake channel. So yeah, these are the episodes I personally remember growing up. Okay, so I might as well leave you guys to it, and if you want to share whatever about the show, the books, and your favourite moments about Harry and his Bucketful of Dinosaurs, then feel free to do so in the comments. So anyway, thanks for watching Boys and Girls, and have a lovely day. Bye everyone. Bye.